they are taking from their states, even though nobody can give account of how much the crude oil is being sold. But yeah, they are still on the table as the contributing the biggest. Fubara, who was talking to the supposed civil servants yesterday, told them that even though they've reversed themselves, if they had upheld that nonsense to withhold their own allocation, it wouldn't have even bothered per se. It still has enough to pay the workers the new minimum wage, which they have started. So it's been the only state right now that has paid that minimum wage, Fubara of River State. He was addressing them earlier, yesterday. It was last night, though. And this was what he said. We'll listen.
Of the states wanted us to experience a dark, or will I say a black Christmas. But because we're determined to make sure that the interests of River State should be the first thing, we're able, not easy, but to meet our obligation as a government. And today, I can say boldly that our civil servants are happy. Even in the face of all the propaganda that my allocation fell inside one bridge. But the civil servants are happy. We are the first state, not just making the promise, but living up to that promise. Today, civil servants that were collecting 70,000 before are jubilating with 120, 140. What is the greatest joy any government can achieve? It's not, yeah, you might do some project, you might do that, but the most important thing is the happiness that you leave in the hearts of people. That is the truth. People will forget that Sir Dr. Odili built this banquet hall. But they won't forget the story when they couldn't pay their children's school fee because of poor salary, and their salary now improved. They will always remember, look, if not for that government, this my son would not have been a graduate. If not for that salary, this my son will not be a lawyer. He will not be a judge. He will not be an engineer. So the most important thing is making sure that our Rivers people are put first in everything we do. So let me thank every one of you that have continued to support us. God doesn't start and end halfway. We're determined to follow this journey, and we'll follow it to the end, where everyone will know that it is only God Almighty that gives power. I need to commend our security agencies for their support. I can say with all amounts of assurance that they've been very cooperative. I know there are a lot of them under one pressure or the other, which is normal. I can always ask you to do the right thing, but will not ask you to do the wrong thing. Therefore, doing the right thing is easy, and that brings peace in the state. We're happy with what you're doing. We'll continue to support you to succeed
I write. Anyway, we are watching. Same cannot be said about Kano. You know, we are talking about revenue most part of this evening. And then a letter that was written and sent to Peter Obi early mid-year of 2024 has surfaced online. It was a letter sent from the Kano State Hospitals Management Board. And in this letter, they were asking for a support, said forwarding of request for building of accident and emergency maternity complex, ambulance, and 100 kVA generator in respect of Minjibir General Hospital. With due respect and honor to your good office and exemplary leadership, I wish I was directed to write and forward the above subject matter in respect of the above heading. This hospital is a general hospital with about 106 bed capacity, operating 24-hour service. Sir, we need construction of accident and emergency maternity complex, ambulance, functional generator, and renovation of staff quarters. This was sent to His Excellency, Honorable Dr. Peter Obi, presidential aspirant, through the principal medical officer in charge, Minjibir General Hospital in Kano. This was Kano, right? And I think it's the same letter, written the same day, just kind of looked like one pretty much like was taken with Nokia phone, and the other one was taken with Huawei or something. Kano State is adjudged to be the richest state in northern Nigeria. It is like the Lagos State Medical Board writing a letter to Gandola. Okay, maybe not Gandola. Writing a letter to a politician and say, please, can you please come and help us build accident and emergency maternity complex, ambulance, and all of that stuff. This is the problem. Earlier today, I shared a clip of their governor in Kano State, who is the stooge of Kwakwansop, where he was sharing wheelbarrows as an empowerment for them in Kano. And the other day, we saw the video, the picture of a Kano lawmaker who took a selfie with a pile of cash. The money they later enveloped to be shared among the poor people in Kano as a means of empowerment. 10,000 naira in the envelope. The money itself could be somewhere around 15-20 million naira, or maybe more. Remember that image? I don't have it this evening. But this, investing in healthcare alone, right, will save the poor people a lot of money that they don't even have. So investing in infrastructure that actually help your people saves them, it saves lives, and it saves money. Today, people have to kind of fend for themselves by paying for everything. Everything. The government will pretend to be helping the people, and then they will come around and tell you that the government cannot do everything. And they have actually put this in the mindset of Nigerians to say the government can't do everything. So people have to do some. So therefore, politicians will steal money. Money meant for the hospitals, schools, roads, even power. They will steal the money. And then they will now turn to philanthropists that will then say, I will give you scholarship, or I will buy you WAEC form, or I will give you 50 million naira to renovate the community hospital. So the job of government is totally expectedly to have been taken over by the criminal politicians called the philanthropists. It is a Nigerian thing. And that is why an average Nigerian will look at you and say, what have you done for the people? And I'm like, what do you want me to do for you? I am not your government. But if you have money, you have to do so. What did you do for your people? What did you do for the... Why should I do something for you? In that manner, like the way they ask, charity is really good, right? You give charity, you support charitable causes. It is not your duty to construct or renovate hospitals. It is not your duty. It is not a private citizen's duty. It is the duty of government. But because the money has been stolen, shared, politicians have now turned to philanthropists. I'm not saying that Peter Obi stole, because there's no record of him stealing any money, though, right? But it's a Nigerian thing. It is not the duty of a Peter Obi to renovate hospitals or give money to... No, it's not. But it is a Nigerian thing. He is expected to do it so that they can see him as the man of the people, the kiniko of the people. I have no record if he answered them, but the letter just kind of resurfaced again online, and that that happened to be my thought, my own thought on it. Like, why should you write to me to come and fix community hospital? Why? Since I have been living in this Glasgow, 12 years of living in Glasgow, I have not seen any politician come around to come and fix my community clinic. No. There is a state budget for it, right? And every penny budgeted for all these clinics, all these community hospitals, like my GP and the rest of them, right? Every penny budgeted for them must be given to them, so that we won't have to write a letter to any politician and say, come, our GP service is, we need a generator, we need a syringe, we need the roof is already falling apart. We need your help, sir. No. It is not the duty of any politician to come around and become a philanthropist. Not that way. But not in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is going to be brief. It has been reported that Tinubu's trip to France has now put the Sahel states, countries like Senegal, Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad, Niger Republic. This has now put them on alert, because they believe that Tinubu is now considered as the enemies of these West African states. In fact, their own belief is that Tinubu is being prepped to launch an attack on Niger Republic. I said something like that. I said something on that 2 days ago. I don't know. I just feel like there is this sort of a spirit that leads me when I am talking about some certain topics. It is not just based on my research and all that, because there are things I would say that are actually not really out there. And it is coming from the position of saying what I have seen, what I have heard, and what I have read. You get, they are putting the whole thing together. Okay? I am able to get to some level of awareness and then projection. See, when I was doing that program 2 days ago about why Tinubu is in France, I looked at all variables, all factors, I put them together and something. Then I was like, listen, that invasion of Niger Republic is only put on hold. It's like paused. It is not over. Then immediately after that my program, I read it somewhere. In fact, I saw a follow-up on David Undenyi's Twitter, where he was having this breakback with the French ambassador office, the French embassy in Nigeria, somebody who works in the embassy, right? That they actually have French ship that is docked in one of these West African countries, Nigeria or Cameroon or Cote d'Ivoire, just not really far, Benin Republic, not really far from Niger, that they could launch an amphibious attack on Niger Republic to get a Bazoum out, remove the junta, the military there, and reverse everything that has taken place in that country in the last 1.5 years. I was like, okay, but why would they do that with Tifnumbu this time around, even though we believe that France being kicked out of these countries, right, automatically means they are looking towards Nigeria to replace the loss that they have, incurred in these countries. Then last night, another news broke. Chad has severed relationship with France. They no longer want to have the French military, the French forces and all of that in their country too. They want them gone. Then this morning, Senegal also announced that France should remove all of their bases from their country. In the next 3 months, they have to remove all of them. I was like, okay. I didn't see that coming. I didn't know about all of that 2 days ago, because I believe it didn't just start yesterday or 2 days ago. It must have been ongoing, but I just didn't know. But somehow, something told me then. I felt that there is more to Tifnumbu going to France. So all I could do is just to alert some of you and say, look out, whatever they have lost in these countries, they will want them back in Nigeria. And Tifnumbu is never going to question that. If they ask him to jump, he's never going to ask questions. He's just going to ask them that, how high do you want me to jump? And I later found out today that there has been an ongoing protest in Chad, which prompted their own government to say, we need to sever relationship with France. All these Francophone countries are severing relationship with France, but Kolu is right there. Ghana, Akufo-Addo is there to fill in the gap. What the heck is going on? Are we getting ready for, because you know something, tonight, the reason why I can't share the video is because I couldn't get the copyright approval from the owners of the video. So I just had to pass. There's a video, in fact, there are videos of Russia airlifting weapons to Niger Republic, man. I don't know if some of you have seen it, but if you haven't, go on Twitter right now, okay, and search for Russia, Niger Republic, weapons. Just those 3 keywords. Russia, Niger, weapons. Go and search for that on Twitter right now. And then you'll come across all these videos. I think it was about 2 months ago. Is it up to 2 months? Maybe, under 2 months ago. Burkina Faso took delivery of some armored personnel carriers. I think it was about 10 or so of them. And they used the Ghanaian ports to receive them because they don't have their own port. So they received them through Ghana. And then they drove them, like they moved this armored personnel carrier from Ghana to Burkina Faso. So Russia has been kind of like flying in and out of these countries to kind of, prepare them. I'm talking about weapons that I saw videos that they are in cases, rocket launchers, all this stuff that you can see maybe people are preparing for war. And they are not old videos. These are videos that are just about a week or 2 weeks old. They are not old videos. So something is cooking, and some of us don't even know. Until we begin to hear, whoa, whoa. Because it is believed that even France too has been here dropping weapons for some of these Janjaweed terrorists in the Sahel as well. An allegation that France has denied. They've denied many of these things anyway. Now France is accusing Niger Republic of human rights abuses against terrorists. Do you know that? I just found that out today. The Janjaweed terrorists, about a month ago, the spokesperson for the Janjaweed terrorists in the Sahel was invited to France. It was on French TV. Clean shaved, not clean shaved, but very smooth shaved. It was looking like, you know, king. Like, this Arab guy was on French TV and defending the Janjaweed terrorists that they are fighting for their rights. The Niger Republic is killing them and they need France to support them. On French TV, Janjaweed terrorists. They were interviewing them. They're talking about their people, how their people have been suffering for years. They said, and they are fighting for their life. And they know that they must have their own republic out of Niger, out of Mali, out of Chad. All this area in the Sahel is supposed to be their territory. But the Nigerian authority, the Chadians, the Malians, the Burkina Faso, they are attacking. Now I want to take over these countries now. How did you kind of create your own Sahel states within these existing countries already? How? But they are on TV. The guy was on TV. So now I saw Russia. They're dropping weapons. Like, they are not using Porto. They are flying the military planes into Niger Republic. This is what Tifnumbu is about to drag you into. It is not over. If anybody tells you that because Tifnumbu couldn't go on and invade Niger Republic last year, and then he is there in France today, and you think he's talking about a trade, I just thought you shouldn't be caught unaware. So when I have more, I will share more. As they are currently in France, celebrating the new UBA, Abina Zenith Bank in France as an investors agreement. I saw that clip earlier too.
I'd also like to recognize Alhaji Aliko Dangote, the president of the Dangote Group. I also have the pleasure of introducing our Honorable Minister of Finance of Nigeria, Mr. Wale Edo. We also have the head of Treasury of France in the shape of Mr. Bernard Dumont. Forgive me if I mispronounce his name. We also have with us the chairman of the BUA Group, Alhaji Samad Rabiu. We also have Mr. Ike Mokwede, the chairman of Access Holdings.
I don't know what they are cooking. I think it is more than what they have told us. Of course, it is always more. But the ideal thing is that you have every right to suspect these guys. Every reason to suspect them. Today, also,